to day 14 of 25 Wild Christmas Review Days. Remember back in day one when I said something along the lines that I made sure to be very organized with this project? You know, so I wouldn't lose my mind making this little project, because it is a lot of work. I have to plan out when I'm going to watch the films, and I have to make time to film them, and then there's the editing, and of course there's uploading them and making sure that each video comes out on its specific day. Well, I didn't do that good of a job because I forgot to take an account on if I've talked about the movie before. Now, see, I was fully aware that I had talked about the Santa Claus 3. I remember making that video, but I didn't give a full review on the Santa Claus 3. I just talked about how come it's not really a fan favorite. Well, today, I was gonna talk about Jingle All the Way, and then a few days ago it dawned on me I talked about Jingle All the Way before, in a previous Wild review video. And I gave my opinion on if I liked it or not. And I went over things that worked, things that didn't. I gave 3 reasons to why I liked it, which is what I would have done if I didn't make a video on it, which is what I would have done in this video if I didn't talk about it before. So now I'm left here just trying to figure out what else there is to say, because I talked about it before. This is Jingle All the Way. Released in 1996, this holiday film focuses on a man named Howard Langston, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a salesman for a mattress company who's always constantly busy at his job, and always seems to disappoint both his wife and son Jamie. On the night of Jamie's karate exposition, where he's booted up one colored belt, Howard tries to make it but unfortunately misses it due to being stuck in traffic and getting stopped by an old cop. Of course, Jamie is upset with his dad, and Howard, being very upset that he's disappointed his son, tries to make it up to him. So he promises his son that he'll get him the one thing that he desperately wants for Christmas that year. And it just so happens there is one thing Jamie wants. It's a Turbo Man doll, which coincidentally is the one thing every kid wants that year because it's the hottest toy on the shelves. So now, Howard is very determined to get this toy to make sure he makes his son happy and makes up for all the times that he missed out. But of course, it's Christmas Eve, and Howard totally forgot that even though he promised his son that he would get the doll, he hasn't gotten the doll yet. So now it's a race against time as Howard and a mailman named Myron, played by Sinbad, journey all around town from a mall to a warehouse, even a radio station, to try to get a Turbo Man for their kids. So to save myself from repeating everything that I said in my original Jingle All the Way video, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can go check out that video. I actually made that video last year, which is really sad seeing that I remember the one video from 2 years ago, but I don't remember the video I made last year. That's great. To summarize, though, what you can expect in that video, though, I do like the movie. I find it very entertaining, and like I said before, I gave 3 reasons to why I found it very enjoyable. One of them being that Arnold Schwarzenegger is very funny in this. The second point I brought up was it was a very unique take on the whole father is so busy to be around his family type cliche. The third one being that I just found it to be a very unique Christmas film entirely. This one is very unique because it focuses on a specific aspect of Christmas that you don't really think of that much. I mean, it's there, but you don't really focus much on it. And that's toys that are on the market, the hottest toys of the year that every kid wants for Christmas. So I find that very interesting that there is a Christmas film that focuses on that one aspect. I can understand why people wouldn't enjoy it as much. It's very similar to the Jim Carrey Grinch. It's one of those films that has turned into one of those, this is a really bad film, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure and you kind of have to watch it around this time of year because it's not Christmas without it. So I understand that's with some people. For me, I don't watch it every year. I watch it when it's on, when I get the chance to watch it, but I definitely find it very funny, and I'm entertained every time when I see Schwarzenegger scream that he wants his cookie. That's pretty much everything I could say about Jingle All the Way that hasn't already been said before. Again, if you want to check out my Jingle All the Way video, click the link in the description. I basically go into more detail with the 3 points that I brought up. The one thing I will talk about, though, very briefly, because this is the only thing I didn't talk about in the original Jingle All the Way review. This camera is like, I think, yeah, there we go. I didn't really touch upon Sinbad's character at all, mostly because I was kind of focusing on Arnold's character majority of the time. Specifically because he's the main character, but Sinbad plays a very big role in this as well. And I really don't have that much to say about Sinbad, other than I think he was a good antagonist for Arnold. Again, Sinbad plays Myron, who's a mailman. I guess you could say, in a way, they're very equal, and you have to suspect that from what we get of Myron's character, a similar thing that's happening with Howard is happening with Myron, only just a bit more intense, I want to say. But I like the whole dynamic that, Myron tries to be friends with Howard. Howard is just like, I need to do this, just leave me alone, buddy. We're in a similar, patch here. And then, they become enemies, but then they try to form a bond. It's like, yeah, we can do this together, and then they go after each other again because they're trying to get a toy, and then that whole ending at the parade, that just got out of control entirely. That whole, parade scene was just, ridiculous, though. Myron is, in the Turbo Man villain costume. He's just chasing Jamie because Jamie has the toy that he wants. It's that was just kind of ridiculous, but the one part I did laugh at was when, regarding the Sinbad, when Myron and Howard were both in a radio station, and Myron was the cops show up, Myron has a box, and he's like, oh, there's a bomb in here, now let us go or else it's going to blow, and they manage to escape, and then the cops are like, no, it's not a real bomb, and it turns out to be a real bomb. It's like, what the hell, this is a kid's film. And that's really all I gotta say about Jingle All the Way, at least from what I haven't said about it already. For the third time, and the last time, if you'd like to check out Jingle All the Way, the review I did last year, you can click the link in the description below. Hopefully you will enjoy that video. And just so you know, for a little fun fact, for the end of the video, Jingle All the Way does have a sequel. It stars Larry the Cable Guy, and it has a very similar plot, just very different. I am not talking about that because I don't think anybody wants to see that. It just doesn't look very good. No! And with that said, oh, that was loud. And with that said, that is it for day 14 of 25 Wild Christmas Review Days. Let me know what you think about Jingle All the Way. Do you enjoy the movie? Do you not like it? Is it one of your favorites? Is it a guilty pleasure that you have to watch every year? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. With all that said, thank you for watching 25 Wild Christmas Review Days. I'll see you tomorrow where we'll talk about a film that has become one of my favorite films, and yet I only fell in love with it 2 years ago. Thanks for watching The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review a thing.